Hello, once again. I'm sorry, I know yesterday I forgot to upload. Actually, not in the mood yesterday. Just yesterday thing. Doesn't matter. Today is just another day. Every day is the same thing. Um, in the last episode, we talked about using our eyes, and so far we've learned three techniques, which is the flooding smile, and then the sticky eyes, and the epoxy eyes. Okay, so the fourth technique, how to look like a big winner wherever you go. Before I started, before I start talking, I start reading this book. Um, you notice that I don't have a webcam, right? So I couldn't actually stream any game with my webcam on, or just stream anything. I have to use my phone for it. I found this webcam. It's old, like 2005 stuff. I know. The thing is, I tested it and the quality is so damn bad, and I don't have the money to buy a new one, a good one. So please, I need money, like real bad. Anyway, we'll go straight into the book. How to look like a big winner wherever you go. Do you remember the lyrics to the old Shirley Bassey song? The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on with my mind? I don't know the song, I just made it up. The goal of this first section is not to make you look like a real big spender, rather it is to give you the cachet of a real big somebody the moment people lay eyes on you. To that end, we now explore the most important technique to make you look like a very important person. When the doctor smacks your knee with that nasty little hammer, your foot jerks forward. Thus, the phrase knee-jerk reaction. Your body has another instinctive reaction when a big jolt of happiness hits your heart and you feel like a winner. Your head jerks up automatically and you throw your shoulders back. A smile frames your lips and softens your eyes. This is the look winners have constantly. They stand with assurance. They move with confidence. They smile softly with pride. No doubt about it, good posture symbolizes that you are a man or woman who is used to being on top. For that, I'm going to shut off my fan. It makes my lip dries. Okay, so the next page. Obviously, millions of mothers sticking their knuckles between their kids' shoulder blades, and trillions of teachers telling students, stand up straight, hasn't done the trick. We are a nation of slouches. We need a technique more stern than teachers and more persuasive than parents to make us stand like a somebody. In one profession, perfect posture, perfect equilibrium, perfect balance is not only desirable, it's a matter of life and death. One false move, one slump of the shoulder, one hangdog look can mean curtains for the high wire acrobat. I'll never forget the first time Mama took me to the circus. When 7 men and women raced into the center ring, the crowd rose as though they were all joined at the hips. They cheered with one thunderous voice. Mama pressed her lips against my ear and reverently whispered these were the great Wallendas. The only troop the only trope in the world to perform the 7-person pyramid without a net. In an instant, the crowd became hushed. Not a cough or a soda slurp was heard in the big top as Karl and Hermann Walenda shouted cues in German to their trusting relatives. The family meticulously and majestically ascended into the position of a human pyramid. They then balanced precariously on a thin wire hundreds of feet above the hard dirt with no net between them and sudden death. The vision was unforgettable. To me, equally unforgettable was the beauty and grace of the 7 Walendas racing into the center of the big top to take their bows. Each perfectly aligned, head high, shoulders back, standing so tall it still didn't seem like their feet were touching the ground. Every muscle in their bodies defined pride, success, and the joy of being alive. Still, here is a visualization technique to get your body looking like a winner who is in the habit of feeling that pride, success, and joy of being alive. Your posture is your biggest success barometer. Imagine you are a world-renowned acrobat, master of the Iron Jaw act, waiting in the wings of the Ringling Bros and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Soon you will dart into the center ring to captivate the crowd with the precision and balance of your body. Before walking through any door, the door to your office, a party, a meeting, even your kitchen, picture a leather bed hanging by a cable from the frame. It is swinging just an inch higher than your head. As you pass through the door, throw your head back and chomp on the imaginary dental grip that first pulls your cheeks back into a smile and then lifts you up. As you ascend high above the gasping crowd, your body is stretched into perfect alignment, head high, shoulders back, torso out of hips, feet weightless. At the zenith of the tent, you spin like a graceful top to the amazement and admiration of the crowd, craning their necks to watch you. Now you look like a somebody. One day, to test hang by your teeth, I decided to count how many times I walked through a doorway. 60 times, even at home. You calculate twice out your front door, twice in, 6 times to the bathroom, 8 times to the kitchen, and through countless doors at your office. It adds up. Visualize anything 60 times a day and it becomes a habit. Habitual good posture is the first mark of a big winner. You are now ready to float into the room to captivate the crowd or close the sale, or maybe just settle for looking like the most important somebody in the room. You now have all the basics Bob the artist needs to portray you as a big winner. Like he said, great posture, a heads up look, a confident smile, and a direct gaze. The ideal image for somebody who is a somebody. So this is the technique. Hang by your teeth. Visualize a circus iron jaw bed hanging from the frame of every door you walk through. Take a bite and, with it firmly between your teeth, let it swoop you to the peak of the big top. When you hang by your teeth, every muscle is stretched into perfect posture position. Like this. Now let's put the whole act into motion. It is time to turn your attention outward to your conversation partner. Use the next 2 techniques to make him or her feel like a millionaire. I'm not. I'm not a millionaire though. So since not that I forgot it, I just didn't do yesterday's reading. I'm gonna read more today. Alright? The fifth technique of how to win their heart by responding to their inner infant. Remember the old joke? The comic comes on stage and the first words out of his mouth are, "Well, how do you like me so far?" The audience always crack up. Why? Because we all silently ask that question. Whenever we meet someone, we know consciously or subconsciously how they are reacting to us. Do they look at us? Do they smile? Do they lean towards us? Do they somehow recognize how wonderful and special we are? We like those people. They have good taste. Or do they turn away, obviously unimpressed by our magnificence, you know? The credence. My English is bad. Two people getting to know each other are like little puppies sniffing each other out. We don't have tails that wag or hair that bristles, but we do have eyes that narrow or widen, and hence that flash knuckles or subconsciously soften in their palms up. I submit position. We have dozens of other involuntary reactions that take place in the first few moments of togetherness. Attorneys conducting voir dire, I don't know how to actually pronounce it. Attorneys conducting voir dire are exquisitely aware of this. They pay close attention to your instinctive body reactions. They watch to see how fully you are facing them and just how far forward or back you are leaning while answering their questions. They check out your hands. Are they softly open, palms up, signifying acceptance of the ideas they are expressing? Or are you making a slight fist, knuckles out, signaling rejection? They scrutinize your face for the split seconds you break eye contact when discussing relevant subjects like your feelings on big awards for damages or the death penalty. Sometimes attorneys bring along a legal assistant whose sole job is to sit on the sidelines and take precise note of your every fidget. An interesting aside, trial lawyers often choose women to do this twitch and turn spying job because traditionally, females are sharper observers of subtle body cues than males. Women, more sensitive to emotions than men, often ask their husbands, "Is something bothering you, honey?" These super-sensitive women accuse their husband of being so insensitive to emotion that they wouldn't notice anything is wrong until their neckties are drenched in her tears. That's true though. The attorney and the assistant then review your score on the dozens of subconscious signals you flashed. Depending on their tally, you could find yourself on jury duty or twiddling your thumbs back in the juror's waiting room. Trial lawyers are so conscious of body language that in the 1960s, during the famous trial of the Chicago 7, defense attorney William Kunstler actually made a legal objection to Judge Julius Hoffman's posture. During the summation by the prosecution, Judge Hoffman leaned forward, which accused Kunstler sent a message to the jury of attention and interest. During his defense summation, complained Kunstler, Judge Hoffman leaned back, sending the jury a subliminal message of disinterest. You are on trial, and you only have 10 seconds. Like attorneys, deciding whether they want you on their case, everybody you meet makes a subconscious judgment on whether they want you in their lives. They base their verdict greatly on the same signals. Your body language, answer to their unspoken question. Well, how do you like me so far? How do you like me so far? Be honest in the comment section. The first few moments of your reactions set the stage upon which the entire relationship will be played out. If you ever want anything from the new acquaintance, your unspoken answer to their unspoken question, how do you like me so far, must be, wow, I really like you. When a little 4 years old feels bashful, he slumps, puts his arms up in front of his chest, steps back and hides behind mummy's skirt. However, when little Johnny sees daddy comes home, he runs up to him. He smiles, his eyes get wide, and he opens his arms for a hug. A loving child's body is like a tiny flower bud unfolding to the sunshine. 20, 30, 40, 50 years of life on earth makes little difference. When 40-year-old Johnny is feeling timid, he slumps and folds his arm in front of his chest. When he wants to reject a salesman or business colleague, he turns away and closes him off with a myriad of body signals. However, when welcoming his loved one home after an absence, Big Johnny opens his body to her like a giant daffodil, spreading its petals to the sun after a rainstorm. Treat people like big babies. I don't know how that works, to be honest, but sure. Once I was at a corporate star-stud party with an attractive, recently divorced friend of mine, Carla, had been a copywriter with one of the leading advertising agencies, which, like so many companies then, had downsized. My girlfriend was both out of work and out of a relationship. At this particular party, the pickings for Carla were good, both personally and professionally. Several times as Carla and I stood talking, one good-looking corporate male beast or another would find himself within a few feet from us. More often than not, one of these desirable males would flash his teeth at Carla. She sometimes graced the tentatively courting male with a quick smile over her shoulder, but then she'd turn back to our mundane conversation, as though she were hanging on my every word. I knew she was trying not to look anxious, but inside Carla was crying out, "Why doesn't he come speak to us?" Right after one prize corporate big cat smiled, but because of Carla's minimal reaction, wandered back into the social jungle. I had to say, "Carla, do you know who that was? He's the head of the Young and Rubicam in Paris. They are looking for copywriters willing to relocate, and he's single." Carla moaned. Just then we heard a little voice down by Carla's left knee. "Hello." We looked down simultaneously. Little 5-year-old Willie, the hostess's adorable young son, was tugging on Carla's skirt, obviously craving attention, like me. Nah. Well, Carla cried out, a big smile erupting all over her face. Carla turned towards him. Carla kneeled down, touched little Willie's elbow, and crooned, "Well, hello there, Willie. How are you enjoying Mummy's nice party?" Little Willie beamed. When little Willie finally trundled off to tug on the garments of the next group of potential attention givers, Carla and I returned to our grown-up conversing. During our chat, corporate beast has continued to stalk Carla with their eyes, and she continued casting half smiles at them. She was obviously disappointed none of them was making a further approach. I had to bite my tongue. Finally, when I felt it was going to bleed from the pressure of my teeth, I said, Carla, have you been noticing that 4 or 5 men have come over and smiled at you? Yes, Carla whispered, her eyes darting nervously around the room lest anyone overhears. And you've been giving them little half smiles, I continued. Yes, she murmured, now confused at my question. Remember when Lil Willie came up and tugged on your skirt? Do you recall how you smiled that beautiful big smile of yours? Turned toward him and welcomed him into our grown-up conversation. Yes. Well, I have a request, Carla. I want you to give the next man who smiles at you that same big smile you gave Willie. I want you to turn towards him just like you did then. Maybe even reach out and touch his arm like you did Willie's. And then welcome him into our conversation. Oh, Lil, I couldn't do that. Carla, do it. Sure enough, within a few minutes, another attractive man wandered our way and smiled. Carla played her role to perfection. She flashed her beautiful teeth, turned fully towards him and said, Hello. Hello, come join us. He wasted no time accepting Carla's invitation. After a few moments, I excused myself. Neither noticed my departure because they were in animated conversation. The last glimpse I had of my friend at the party was her floating out the door on the arm of her new friend. Just then, the technique I call the Big Baby Pivot was born. It is a skill that will help you win whatever your heart desires from whatever type of beast you encounter in the social or corporate jungle. Technique number 5, the Big Baby Pivot. Give everyone you meet the Big Baby Pivot. The instant the two of you are introduced, reward your new acquaintance. Give the warm smile, the total body turn, and the undivided attention you would give a tiny tyke who crawled up to your feet. Turn a precious face up to yours, and beamed a big toothless grin. Pivoting 100% toward the new person, shouts, I think you are very, very special. Remember, buried deep inside everyone is a big baby who is rattling the crib, wailing out for recognition of how very special he or she is. The following technique reinforces the big baby's suspicion that he or she is indeed the center of the universe. I have spoken out quite well, I think, so far. How long has it been? I don't know. But anyway, since I've talked about like two techniques in a row, right? I've read like so much. I think this is it for this video. You guys can check the previous videos in my channel. Just check in the playlist. I will make a playlist. If you see it by then, it will already be made. Like a playlist for reading, a playlist for songs. Each playlist for their own. So you guys can check it out, all of them. And please, for you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to me, please. Because 98% of my viewers are not subscribed. How dare you? How dare you not subscribe to me? So please, okay? See you in the next one, okay? Bye bye.